What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. We're going to get a new legendary hero, as we can see right here with this teaser that was released on the Facebook page. So what is this all about? That is what we're going to talk about today. We've gotten this post from the Diamond, which basically says that on Friday we'll be starting this so-called event or series of events and tournaments to get the fragments for this new champion, legendary, support, magic, and we've got all the skills already. We know what she is going to be all about, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to try and figure out, what can we expect from this fragment system, because this is the first time we're going to have the full force of the fragment system, right? We had Horden before, as you can see right here, and let's face it, this one was really easy. This was basically a gimme just to start it all off. So now we're going to see just how hard is it going to be to get all fragments to get a legendary champion. Much like the fusion events, this is going to be spread across, like I said, those events and tournaments. Now the Diamond also informed us that apparently we'll be able to get more than enough fragments between all those events, tournaments. So don't worry if you can't complete it all on like the first set of event or the tournament in question. But again, really eager to see just how accessible is this going to be for all the players. All right, so let's look at her kit, which overall looks very interesting. All right, here's her character model. Sorry, the quality is not that great. This was probably data mined at some point, so this is like a picture of a picture. But we clearly see that this is the champion model that we saw in the trailer. Okay, as for her skills, we have on the A1 this skill right here, which does place a shield buff equal to 10% of the champion's max HP, so herself, on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. So nothing to go too crazy about, but this skill right here is where I think everybody will be excited. We have a stun on top of having a 100% chance, once fully booked, to team up with 3 random allies to attack a random enemy, and then allies joining the attack will use their default skills. So what is this? This is the so-called allies joining attack for the blender build. Here's the list right now of some of the champions that have this in the game. Longbeard and Lanicus probably being the ones that are well known, but we also have Catacomb Counselor, Lady Atessa, and Hyria that can do this as well. So this champion is very similar to Lanicus the Chosen in the sense that she has that skill, but also her A3 has this skill right here, which is the 50% increased attack and 30% increased crit rate buff on all allies for 3 turns, and then attacks all enemies. So this is not like an extra turn, but it is pretty good in itself. The question is, what is she going to use on auto? Is she going to do blinding glow, or is she going to do weirding? However you say that word anyway, but I kind of like her, right? Also, what is she going to add for me is the faction wars, right? Which I think that maybe for a lot of people, here's Lanicus, by the way, with her skill, kind of the same thing here, very similar, but maybe Lanicus is still a little bit better for this. Anyway, you guys can be the judge of that. But for faction wars, orcs, this is a nice improvement because I use Ultimate Gaelic as one of my champions, right? I also use Argala. I got Shaman in there right now, and then I have Seer, and I had to use some kind of increased attack. So I was using this guy, Ironclad, to work with my Ultimate Gaelic so that I could rotate right into his HP burn. Now I'm going to have the legendary version of this along with the allies joining attack, which I also did not have on my account. So overall, I am pretty excited about this new champion. But the big question now remains just how hard is it going to be to obtain this champion from the fragment system? Because like I showed you in the beginning, the first ever event that we got was for Horden, and it was pretty easy. So to estimate just how hard this is going to be, let's look at the previous events from the Kantra Fusion event, and then we're going to assume that the rares are going to be somewhat replaced with a certain number of fragments. Okay, so here we had an artifact enhancement event, 1500 points to get the rare. So let's say this is going to be maybe 10, 20 fragments. I wouldn't think 20, but let's say maybe 10 fragments here. Then we'd have like a champion training event. We had some at 4,600 points. We had some at 9,400 points, and then 12,000 points to get a couple more fragments. So that might be the case. Maybe like a 10 or 1,500 here too. So maybe 10, 10, 10, 10, maybe a 20 all the way up here if you manage to make it that far. What about down here, a Dungeon Divers event, right? We had some at 750 points and then 1,700 points. So maybe this would be 10 fragments, 10 fragments. 38 or almost 4,000 points here for another rare, so let's say another 10 points right there. Here's the Summon Rush, right, where we have, what is it, like 7, almost 800 points for 10 fragments, maybe 3,000 points for 20 fragments. So I don't know, can we expect something down the lines of the Fusion event? Let's look at some tournaments here real quick, sorry. Right here we have a Champion Chase tournament. We had, what was it, like 1,500 points for one of the rares, so maybe 10 fragments right there. And then a Classic Arena, we had 320 points for one of the rares, so let's say about 10 fragments there as well. So like I said in the beginning, they are supposed to give more than enough fragments for us to complete this, which means that you won't necessarily be forced to do all of these tournaments or events. Pick and choose which one you think you will be best at, or the ones that are worth focusing on. Anyway, all that being said, guys, that's about it. I really just wanted to help you guys get prepared for this. Sort of what can we expect from this new actual fragment system, right? The first time we're going to see it in its full force. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.